Sorry, dear, but today I have to work late. I won't be able to go to the dance. Oh, Mike, what a pity. I even bought a new dress, especially for you. Why don't you go? Alone? Well, John and Cheryl are coming. You can ask them to take you. John was a linebacker, so I'm sure he can take care of you. Cheryl is pregnant, so she won't drink. I'm sure John will have a few dances saved for you, and I think there are some single men out there who would love to dance with you. I heard. They will take their neighbors Kim and Beverly with them. These bitches will get all the attention. Nobody wants to dance with an old married lady. Karen, you're not old at all. You are very attractive. Kim and Beverly are single, so there's nothing wrong with them meeting guys and even going to their house. I'm sure you'll find plenty of men who'd love to hug you for a few dances. Are you sure you're okay with this? Be careful and make sure that John and Cheryl are not lost from sight for more than a few minutes. I trust you. Now go have some fun. Okay, darling? I love you. Well, it will certainly be better than staying at home. I called John and he agreed to take me. I had dinner and got ready. Not bad. 35 years old, but still youthful. Black, shoulder-length hair that frames her face and sets off her blue eyes. My new dress really flattered my slender figure, ending just above the knee and showing a little more cleavage than usual. My breasts are small, but still very firm, so I can wear a very thin, barely noticeable bra. I know I can't compete with the 23-year-old twins who will be coming with us. But it's normal. It's just dancing, I told myself, and I'll go home to my husband. Just at that moment, John's car pulled up. 2 bitches. They moved and I sat down. Okay, I knew they didn't bitches. Just young, beautiful, and full of life. I smiled at them. You are dressed to kill. Our table will definitely not lack male attention. Could you leave some for me? They laughed and Beverly said, Karen, you look amazing yourself. Don't worry, today you are one of us. We got to the club and sat down at a table. John, thank you very much for bringing me. I know Mike would never have let me come if you hadn't been looking out for me. The way you look tonight, I'd love to babysit you. John teased. What would you like to drink, lady? We ordered drinks and John went to get them. The orchestra was just getting ready and 3 men approached our table. The 2, who looked to be in their 20s, began chatting with Beverly and Kim. The 3rd introduced himself to me as Justin. We talked for a bit and I found him very charming. A little older than me, perhaps, but attractive and very fit. The 2 young men seemed to be competing with each other for the girls' attention. Kim stood up. Guys, we'll be right back. Karen and Beverly, I need to go to the ladies' room. Went? We got up and followed her. We need to do something to organize the boys, Kim said, closing the door to the ladies' room. I only want to dance with Bill. This is fine? That suits me just fine, Beverly said. I think I like Robert, but how can we leave the boys without a choice? It's a pity that we are not identical twins. Then they wouldn't care, Kim laughed. Then she clapped her hands and said, I'll give Bill my panties. I will tell him that he must return them to me. But whether it will be tonight or tomorrow morning depends on how he behaves. She put her hand under her short skirt and pulled off her panties. We all burst out laughing. This could work, Beverly chuckled. She reached under her dress and pulled down her panties. I'll give mine to Robert. What about you, Karen? You don't want Justin to feel left out. Beverly, I'm a married woman, I laughed. I can't do this. In any case, Justin will not agree to this. He knows he won't take me home. Oh, Karen, live a little. Renew your limits. He's unlikely to refuse. Be young today, Karen. Try it. You girls are so bad. I pulled off my panties and put them in my hand. Okay, I'll try. But Kim, your skirt is a little short. Don't do too many spins. It's not that short. And my panties are thongs. They weren't covering much anyway. We all laughed and headed towards the exit. The orchestra started playing and I walked up to Justin. Will you dance this dance with me? It's a great honor for me. When we walked onto the landing, I put my panties in his hand. Don't look, just put it in your pocket. What is this? These are my panties, I whispered as we started dancing. He raised his eyebrows questioningly. The girls wanted the boys to stop quarreling over who would dance with whom. Therefore, each gave the panties to one. The deal is that they must return them on demand, either tonight or, if they play their cards right, tomorrow morning. Justin laughed. And will I get the same? Unfortunately, no. I'm afraid you drew the short straw. I'm not going to cheat on my husband. John will take me home. If you want, return them and try your luck elsewhere. Karen, I'm older than these children. I don't look for the bill every night. I'm holding a beautiful woman. She is a wonderful dancer with a charming personality. If I can dance with her all evening, I will consider it one of my best dances in a long time. Thank you, Justin. You are very kind, but I still feel sorry for you. There are many more beautiful women here. You can find better. I disagree. I'll tell you what. I usually behave like a real gentleman, but if you feel like you owe it to me to make amends, let me be a little more direct than usual. What are you talking about? Nothing that could be confusing, like maybe I'll hug you a little tighter, like this. And if you're uncomfortable, just tell me, and I'll stop. I'll tell you. Will you stop right now? And I promised my husband that I would never leave John's sight for more than a few minutes. Everything is fine. You are in control. I promise I will never let the word no pass me by. Agreed. Okay, I grinned, hugging him tighter to me. I think it could be fun. We had been dancing quite close to our table, but now he danced with me to the other side of the room. He smiled and asked, "Are these really your panties?" I laughed. "You can check and see." "Okay," he said. He lowered his right hand to my ass and began to slowly caress it. I squeaked quietly. "I don't think that's what I meant." "Maybe not, but my way is better." "Yes, I don't feel any panty lines." He continued to gently stroke my ass and lightly squeezed my buttock. I pressed myself into his hand. "You are very meticulous." "I need to make sure," returning his hand to my back. "And let me tell you, you have a very nice ass. You do not mind?" I felt myself blushing. I guess I asked for it myself. It was very nice. You have a gentle touch, but please don't. Now, dance to our table. I need a drink. He smiled and squeezed my hand. Very good. We sat down and John made us drinks. I kind of lost you there for a while. I took a sip from the glass. You don't have to watch me every second, John. Mike and I agreed that I wouldn't leave your sight for more than a few minutes. I'm safe here, and Justin is a true gentleman. Not today, I thought. As evening came, we became a little bolder. We mostly danced near the table, but moved away every few minutes. During the slow dance, he held me close to him, and I could rub a little against his hardness. Another time, he kissed my fingertips, and in response, I licked my lips and blew him a sensual kiss. One day when we were dancing a waltz, he looked at my cleavage for a long time and then blew softly on the tops of my breasts. Whenever we did something, we smiled and giggled like kids who got away with something. We never did anything more than quick, playful teasing, but I could tell we were both horny. Even when we weren't doing anything, I'd get excited, thinking about what I could do or fantasizing about what he might try. And I think knowing that was exciting for both of us. We danced, drank, and flirted for several hours when we sat down to catch our breath. I asked John, "How are the girls doing?" He laughed. "Great. I don't think they will come back." "Well, Cheryl, are you tired? When do you want to return home?" John and I danced several dances. It was fun, but I'm a little tired. Let's say another 15 minutes. Order. Come on, Justin, let's not waste time. The perfect gentleman and I danced in front of our table. And then a slow dance started, and we danced in the crowd. He pulled me closer to him, then put his hand on my head and dropped it onto his shoulder. I smiled slyly and nuzzled his neck, then kissed him several times and bit him lightly. I felt his erection and pressed into it. "You're being very naughty," he breathed. "I just like that I can excite a man." "I'm counting on your promise about the word no. Karen, you are beautiful. You can excite any man you want, but be careful or you'll be too excited to say no. He warned and leaned down to kiss me passionately. Our tongues touched and I pulled away. We weren't that far from John. "Not here," I said. Justin bit my ear and whispered, "When you're ready to leave, tell John you'll walk me to the car. Tell him to set a timer for 5 minutes until you return. Then we can say goodbye properly and end a wonderful night with dignity." "Okay," I grinned and hugged him tightly. "Eventually, I have to give you back your panties. Maybe I can put them on you?" I laughed. "Don't know." We did another dance in front of our table when John went to check on the girls. Even though we behaved well, the tension between us was palpable. John returned and said, "The girls won't need my services as a driver." "Let's go too?" Justin came out with me. When we got to the door, I turned to John and said, "While you get the car, I'll walk Justin to his car. Cheryl, set the timer. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, send a search party. We can't let this scoundrel take advantage of me." "Hey," Justin protested. "Today I behaved well." Cheryl laughed. "No, I'll set a stopwatch. You'll have to explain every second to Mike." "Wonderful. Hold my purse and get started." She was fiddling with the phone in her hands. "Go." Justin and I ran into the parking lot, holding hands and laughing hysterically. Justin pulled out the remote to unlock the car and we ran. He opened the back door. "I won't get in your car," I said. "Just stay here, outside the door. It will be more private," he said. "Now, how about a kiss?" "Well, you definitely deserve a little reward for tonight," I purred. I smiled, hugged his neck and kissed him. Our lips parted and our tongues danced. He put his arm around my waist and hugged me tightly. His right hand slid to my ass and gently stroked it. Well, it's already happened, I thought. Then I felt his left hand lift my dress, and his right hand suddenly rested on my bare ass. I squirmed in the caress. All I could think about was how good I felt as he gently massaged me. His hand moved to her thigh and rubbed up and down teasingly. Somewhere in the fog of my mind, there was a feeling that I should do something, but I ignored it. I felt so good. This sensation, combined with the feeling of being wrong, sent tremors throughout my body. I felt my breathing become uneven and my heart pound as I moaned softly. Any thoughts I might have had disappeared as I moaned into his kiss. He held me while my body shook, but when I came to my senses, he carefully lowered me onto the edge of the back seat. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath of air. Then he leaned down again and kissed me tenderly. My eyes widened when I suddenly realized that I was already having sex with him. "Sorry for the rush, but we only have a few minutes left," he breathed. I gasped for air when I felt him put my panties back on. He pulled me to my feet and kissed me quickly. "Hurry up, the clock is ticking." "Oh God," I thought. "How long were we gone?" I ran and saw John driving up with the car. Cheryl touched the phone. "Not bad, 6:23. We don't have anything to tell Mike," she laughed. She looked at me. "God, Karen, you didn't have to run so hard. You're all red and out of breath." I climbed into the back seat and collapsed. We were halfway home when the fog began to clear. My God, what have I done? I cheated on Mike. How could Justin do this? But then I remembered that I agreed that he could take liberties with me, but would stop when I said no. Why didn't I say this? He even warned me that I might be too excited to remember. I got out of the car and saw Mike's car in the driveway. What should I do now? I walked through the door and saw Mike smiling at me. "I need to go to the toilet," I shouted and ran up the stairs. I took off my clothes and stuffed my wet panties deeper into the laundry basket. My dress was a little stained, but it wasn't noticeable. I'll take it to the dry cleaner tomorrow. I took a very thorough shower and used the handheld shower head to thoroughly wash everything out of my pussy. Since I slept naked, I left the bathroom like that. Mike was getting ready for bed himself. Mike smiled at me and said, "I just talked to John. He told me you had a really good time. I told you you don't need partners. Although apparently there was only one. You must be tired. Ready to go to bed?" I smiled and pushed away the guilt. "I'm tired. I must have danced for 3 hours. Yes, it happened with one guy. His name is Justin. He's a little older than us. I don't even know his last name. I don't know where he works and nothing about him at all. Well, except that he was a good dancer. But I'd rather be with you. The new dress you wore looks very cute. I laughed. Well, you know, if you want to see this dress on me, you'll just have to ask me to dance. Okay, next time, I promise. This project is almost complete. Another week or so, and it will be over. And then I promise to take you with me. This will be a date. But now I'm very tired. Do you mind if we just go to bed? I'm tired too, I just got back. I love you, dear. I love you too, darling. Good night. Mike fell asleep immediately. I didn't sleep for a long time trying to comprehend this evening. I can't blame Justin. True, I told him that I was not going to cheat on my husband, but I didn't stop him. And when a man holds a seriously aroused woman in his arms, he takes everything she gives him. I have to admit, I had more fun than I've had in a long time. The thrill of disobedience, of dancing without underwear, the sexual excitement of all the touching, of being in the arms of a handsome stranger who was obviously attracted to me. Even the ending was impressive. But then there was a terrible roar when I realized what I had done. I decided that I could keep tonight as a pleasant memory and never betray Mike again. With this thought, I turned to Mike, stroked him gently, and fell asleep hugging him. 2 weeks later. Wow, honey, this dress suits you. No wonder you had no problems finding dance partners. I felt myself blushing. Thank you, Mike. But there was only one. Well, I'm sure you broke his heart when you came back to me. Let's go to? We got to the club. After drinking, he took me to the dance floor. As we danced, I thought back to the last time I was here and thought, my husband definitely deserves what I gave Justin. In the next slow dance, I pulled Meek towards me, kissed his neck and rubbed it against him. Meek smiled at me. You are terribly playful. Will I be lucky today? Absolutely right. Tonight and as often as you want for the rest of your life. We were sitting and sipping drinks when I heard a familiar voice. Karen, how nice to see you again. Will you introduce me to your husband? I felt my heart leap into my throat. Honey, this is Justin. The man I danced with 2 weeks ago when you couldn't come. Justin, this is my husband, Mike. Mike stood up and they shook hands. Thank you for taking care of Karen, he laughed. She told me that she had a lot of fun. She was afraid that she would not find partners. Oh, I don't think there was anything to fear. She is a wonderful woman and a great dancer. By the way, may I ask your permission to ask her to dance? Mike nodded and Justin extended his hand to me. Can I took his hand and he led me to the dance floor. While we danced, I tried to stay as far away as possible. He chuckled. Glad to hear you had fun. Are you very angry with me? I sighed. Yes, I'm a little upset, but I have to admit that you kept your word. You even warned me that I might forget to stop you. I'm much more angry at myself. I acted like a stupid schoolgirl, flirting with a stranger and then following him to his car. It's true that I had fun until the very end, but I really hate this ending. Yes, that was rather hasty, wasn't it? Sorry about that. However, those few minutes gave me one of the most intense, erotic experiences of my life. I smiled and relaxed a little. It was very stressful for me too. Maybe we could meet again and see what we can do with more time. Let me say this right now before I forget. No. Karen, please. I know you liked it. In the end, you even lost consciousness. Tell me the truth, you enjoyed every minute. I blushed, thinking about it. Yes, Justin, I admit, it was great. I'm sure I'll remember this fondly for a long time to come, but this must never happen again. I love my husband and never want to hurt him. Well, I liked it so much that I left myself a souvenir. While you were unconscious, I managed to take a couple of pictures. They came out great. My new phone has a low light setting. I shot a close-up of your face and another shot that shows your whole body, with your dress around your waist. I don't think you noticed. You didn't open your eyes until I put your panties on. I became weak and stumbled, but he supported me and we continued our dance. Please, Justin, I sobbed. What are you going to do with them? Why don't you invite me over next week? I can show them to you and we can look at them and discuss it. Just talk? Well, I was hoping we could pick up where we left off. I could give you much better memories, or we could just show Mike the photos right now. My heart sank. Just once and you'll leave? Certainly. We just had so little time before, and sex shouldn't be so rushed. Don't you agree? We need to fix this. He handed me a handkerchief. Here, dry your eyes. We need to go back. Well, what should I do?